Ahoy! Lots of new people who decide to try playing Wizard keep asking me for tips on how to survive. With it being the squishiest class, that sure isn't easy, so I gathered a few ideas for you that might help if you're also suffering from this issue. Of course, the easiest solution is to just buy better gear. Anyone can give you that advice, but let's look at the things that are actually free to use, or at least much cheaper than new gear. As a wizard, you've got 3 class-specific survival skills. 2 of them regenerate your HP and another absorbs a bunch of damage. One of the biggest mistakes people do here is start panicking when their HP goes low and just use all of those at once. The way I suggest using them is as follows. First of all, when you engage in a difficult boss fight, for example, and take damage, the goal is to compensate your loss of HP long enough to defeat it. HP steal is the best friend of a wizard, as I usually tell people. It's basically the first step in surviving, as it restores some of your HP as long as you keep hitting. If HP steal can't make up for it, then come the potions. Level 3 potions sold by the grocers and alchemists of every town are not always enough if you're facing really difficult enemy, so you might want to keep some level 4 versions with you. Those you can obtain from the DP Cube in Portlax or just buy from other players. If HP steal and potions still aren't enough, then it's time to hit the regeneration buff. But remember, your health cannot go above the maximum value. So it's important that you should take a few hits before using that. It doesn't have a very long duration, so you can use mass restoration after it or together with it if the enemy is too tough. If your HP is still going down, then comes the emergency ace up your sleeves. Spirit Shield. Normally you should be using this when it hits the fan and you're just one hit away from dying. It gives you a temporary extra HP bar that has to be beaten down before you can take damage again. During this time, your main HP bar can still be filled using health potions and health steal. And last but not least, after you get your wings, you're going to have Wing Protect, which deflects 1 or at rare grade even 2 hits entirely, regardless of their damage. This can be used as a last resort. Now, I'd also like to point out that being hit while your Spirit Shield is on or with Wing Protect on makes you immune to status effects like silence, suppression, and so on. Therefore, if you're expecting a special attack, it's usually worth using them. So now that you have an idea of how those skills work, here's one more thing to consider. Spirit Shield has a much shorter cooltime than the regeneration buffs or Wing Protect. So another approach would be to use that one first and then survive for 70 more seconds with your other skills while it's cooling. It's up to you how you decide to use it. Of course, skills alone won't make you invincible. You're going to need new gear eventually for some larger amounts of defensive stats. I cannot give you any specific advice, but you should try to maximize your HP, defense, damage reduction, and ignore penetration. Yes, ignore penetration works outside PvP as well. Defense rate and evasion let you entirely avoid damage from certain hits, but they are chance based. It's possible that you block every hit, and it's possible that all of them connect and you die. As wizard, you're wearing martial armor, so your base defense rate is not bad. Therefore, that's worth trying to increase with stuff like passive skills, merit, and possibly even buff potions. If you avoid a hit, you gain some time to restore more of your missing HP. Evasion, on the other hand, is mainly granted by the dexterity stat, of which wizard has an awfully low amount. Sure, it increases your useless blue number by a huge amount, but it's just impossible for a wizard to gain enough permanent evasion for it to make a difference, because it is chance-based. Nonetheless, evasion potion can still come in handy, but it lasts a very short time. And last but not least, as I mentioned a few times already, there is HP steal. If you don't exactly know how it works, check the video's description. You should try to get enough percentage value of HP steal to make up for your damage even with non-critical hits, and as much HP steal limit as you possibly can. Vampiric earrings, rune, talisman, maybe even a pair of shoes or an amulet all increase it, and it's a really powerful non-PvP stat. It counts for every monster that is hit with each attack, and there are many places where you can just do a bit of luring and basically restore all your health from hitting random mobs around the boss. And there's one more thing I'd like to emphasize. Wizard is a ranged class. Your most powerful skills have a range of 6 in BM2 and 7 in BM3. Many bosses out there simply cannot reach that far. And luckily, Blink also makes Wizard the most mobile and fastest moving class out there. So add those two up and the result is the so-called hit and run tactics. In lots of cases it's possible to entirely avoid taking damage if you keep doing that, or you can just do it while you recover your HP or spirit shield cools down and so on. Anyway, as usual, if you've got any relevant questions, the comments are available. Ahoy!